Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Welcome back to another episode of Steelers Stat Geek coming at you once again. This is Dave Schofield, deputy editor of Behind the Steel Curtain, and joining me one more time, and more than one more time, it's going to continue to be, is my big brother Rich. Rich, how are you doing this lovely festive evening?
Oh, well, out here in the western part of Maryland, we're sitting in the snow. And so with Christmas coming up, I decided, got the tree in the back, went with the Santa hat, Steelers style. Looking forward to some more football.
Yes. Now, you are definitely 100% going to be at this game on Sunday, correct?
Correct. Not Kyle.
Not Kyle.
No, because I can't chance it.
Yeah, because he's never seen them win.
Correct. He's never seen them win. So
yeah, yeah. I don't know that I'm going to be there. We're
what?
Yes, I hadn't had a chance to tell you about this. If anyone out there is interested in going to the game, I am looking to sell the tickets right now because it's very difficult for one Brian Anthony Davis to get to the game and get back and everything to carry on with the regular business of a Monday. It's not set in stone, but if someone wanted the tickets, we're looking at that. I've had some inquiries, but we'll have to make a decision here soon. So I can't say if I'm going to be there or not.
You're bailing on me.
Well, here's the problem. The problem is
Brian Anthony Davis.
No. The problem's me. I've already gone to 3 games this year, including the preseason, and 2 of them have already been primetime games. I was at the first preseason game, which was a Friday night game, and then I was at the Monday night game against the Dolphins. And I really don't want to drive home at the middle of the night again and have that screw me up for several days because I'm going to be up super late writing anyway. Now I'd have to come back and then begin writing stuff for the website. So I like to go to bed before the sun comes up.
I got it all figured out. Okay. Ready? Ditch the wife and kids. Come up here, ride up to the game with Alex and I, and then come back and stay here. I'll drive. You can write while I drive. See? Done. We're going again.
Here we go. Here's Knapp, 1963, who we were going to go tailgate with, which, like I said, is still a possibility. He says he hasn't missed a home game in 5 years. I want to know, how far away do you live from the stadium? Because it's a good 3.5-hour drive and everything back to where I live. I'm not as far west in Maryland as my brother. He is as far west as you can go. He is right on the cusp of Pennsylvania and West Virginia there, where I am out past the really skinny part of Maryland. So getting down into enemy territory. Kyle saying there's going to be an empty seat.
He's lobbying to go.
I'll tell you, I don't know if it would break. Well, because something would have to give. Because in case you all did not hear, let's dive into some stuff a little bit. In case you haven't heard the news from this evening, that I was surprised they announced it today. I thought it would wait till later in the week. But once again, the Steelers, because it's a primetime game, they're going with the Color Rush uniforms. That this evening.
I saw that, and the first thing I thought of was you wearing the helmet with the Cam Hayward Color Rush.
Yeah.
I mean, it was perfect.
Yes. The bottom line is it's a very flux situation right now. We're looking into various things, kind of seeing how things play out and how stuff could work with Brian. I mean, we were all gung-ho about it, but you know what? It's very simple. I just have Brian drive part way while I write, and then I'll drive part way while he writes, and we can help I'll come through there. But you're going to be there. You're going to be there.
I hope Brian's listening in.
Yeah, well, he has been. So we'll see. See, Ron is saying now that if we lose because Kyle goes, it's my fault. So,
all right. So we got one thumbs down for Kyle attending the game.
Yeah. So let's Wes, I see your question. We're gonna dive into that with stuff coming this week. But I am going to bring up Cody's comment because he used the super chat feature, which is where you can type in a comment or a question. If it's a question, I'm going to ask you to hold off for a little bit because we're going to get into some stuff here, and I don't want to lose them. And you just type it in, donate hit the little dollar sign down there, donate any dollar amount you want to the show. Don't feel like you have to do it, but if you want what you say to definitely be brought up, that's one way to do it. So $2 into the tip jar to say 5-0 with the color rush, which is a fantastic number to bring up. And let me see. I'm trying to think. I have been at 3 of those 5. I've been at 3 of those 5. So I kind of almost feel obligated to go with the color rush because you and I were at the Tennessee game.
Yep.
And then last year I could not sell my tickets to the Patriots game for the life of me. And even though I was busy, I had to drop everything else, all these activities with the kids right before Christmas and go to that Patriots game, which was fantastic. And then I was there earlier this year when they played the Dolphins. So I'm 3-0 with color rush. So that's pretty good. Let me click off of that for a second. We don't want to run over tonight, so let's dive in.
Let's get some numbers.
Give me a number.
You first.
Me first?
Yep, I'm letting you do it.
Mine's a set of 3 numbers. You ready?
Yep.
4, 66, and 3.
Oh, see, yours is close to mine. Mine was a set of numbers. I had a set of 4 numbers. Okay. Mm-hmm. I had 13.
Okay.
66.
Okay.
3. 8.
Okay. So let's go with mine.
Okay, take yours.
4 first downs in the opening drive.
Mm-hmm.
They doubled their season total because they only had 4 total in the season going into this game.
Right.
66. That's the number of yards they gained on the opening drive.
Yep.
That more than doubled their yards for the season because they were sitting at 58. And then, of course, what I had said I wanted more than anything, I think I said on the burning question, 3 points on the opening drive, doubling their season total for opening drives. Would a touchdown have been great? Absolutely. But, man, at this point, I'm like, just give me some first downs. Don't turn it over. And even better, go get some points. Now, they were aided by a penalty in there on 3rd down. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. They got Boswell in range. They actually did. It was the first time they have scored on the opening drive and had first downs.
All right. So my other 2 numbers on that are a little connected a little bit in some way. The 13, and the 8.
Okay.
So that opening drive was 13 plays.
13 plays
for 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Oh, wow.
8 minutes on the dot.
I have this sitting right in front of me. 8 minutes on the dot, 13 plays, 4 first downs,
we took
30-yard field goal.
We took our opening drive, and we held the ball for over half the quarter on our opening drive.
Yes. Boy, wasn't that nice. I mean, it was great. Now,
it was different.
Dude, let's break it down a little bit. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
So we'll break this down. Here you go, because we'll get into some stuff with this in a little bit. Here you go. First play, shotgun, run, Jalen Samuels, -3 yards. Not the way to start.
No.
Okay. Second play, shotgun, Kareth White, 13-yard rush, first down.
Yep.
Okay. I did not get to see this. I did get home in time to see this drive. I had to listen to the first defensive drive on the radio because the stream would not work on my phone as I was traveling home, and but it did work on my iPad once I got home. So,
by the way, that was White's longest run of the day.
Yes. Yeah. Although he pretty much did well on every run he had it. So.
Correct. But that was his longest one of the day, and there was only 1 rush longer on the day.
Yeah. Jalen Samuels, 1 yard. So on 2nd and 9, sack, -4 yards.
Yep.
So 3rd and 13. Okay. Then there was a 7-yard completion to Edmonds. 15-yard penalty on top of it because he took a smack on that one. Okay, and there should have been another penalty later on that drive when the one that took off
Samuel's helmet. Yeah.
Yep. And then it was Snell for 5 on the run, Snell for 4 on the run, Snell for 3 on the run, Samuels for 1, Hodges for 6, and then the pass to Samuels for no gain, field goal. So they only passed the ball twice. Well, they dropped back. They went to pass 3 times, and one ended up being a scramble for 6 yards. And the one was short of the sticks, but they got the penalty, and then the other one was short of the sticks.
Also, don't forget the sack. You technically have to count that as a
drop. Yeah. The sack. I forgot the sack. So yep. So that was 4. So once again, not really taking any shots. But they running effectively. So was it a perfect opening drive? By no means at all. It was not. But it was an improvement because of how bad it's been. So we'll take it a little bit as we can get it.
It wasn't 3 and out.
It wasn't 3 and out. So yeah, well, and that's the thing. And that's why. But here's the thing. If he doesn't bust the second play for 13 yards where he gets the first down, right? It was the second play. Would we have just been run, pass, punt? We might have.
Yeah.
But the difference was we executed the run.
Yeah.
The Steelers executed the run. So that's what happened there. So the opening drive, we both wanted to focus on that. So let's move past the opening drive and see if there's anything else you wanted to bring up.
Well, we brought it up the end of last week, some of the numbers we were looking at moving forward. We did get the 35 rushing attempts, 140 yards for a 4.0 average. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you want to stop and think about it, we were better than that actually. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that includes the botched
Jordan Berry minus 8-yard run.
Right. So if you take that out, it was 34 rushes for 148 yards, which is 4.35 a carry.
That's exactly what I laid out in my Analyzing the Numbers article.
Right. Which then when you stop and think about it, what was the touted part of the Arizona defense? They were supposed to be weak against the pass, stronger against the run.
Not that they were great. But they were supposed to be, but they were better at the run than with the pass.
But we added over 6 yards per game to their rushing average in that one game.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was effective running, and Snell was the only player that got double-digit carries.
Yes,
he was the only runner, and we actually have an article coming out tomorrow that I did off of today's press conference, which was how are they doing how are they going to handle the division of labor that Coach Tomlin talked about in his press conference today, if James Conner's back, and they are going into the week, basically cautiously optimistic about both Conner and Smith-Schuster being able to come back. So the question is, how is that going to affect things in the backfield? My question was, who's not going to get a helmet? Because I asked the same question when I did an article about.
Yes, but I don't remember who you said who's not getting the helmet.
Well, that was for the wide receivers, and that question was, I said
you said Jones, right?
I said Jones because
I would agree actually on that.
Yeah, because some people are like, the wide receiver that wouldn't get a helmet would be Holton. No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you're not watching Johnny Holton on special teams. They don't need how many times have the Steelers put 5 wide receivers on the field?
Right.
They don't need Johnny Holton to go out on the field for anything else other than special teams, and he's the emergency receiver. So in case guys start to drop like flies, kind of like you saw with Philadelphia last night.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying Kane has kind of turned into that guy that they want to try to take a deep shot with, but yet he actually catches the ball.
Correct. He's the guy that should be in there instead of Holton on the big jumbo package all the time. If you're going to take your shot to a guy who can catch the ball, it's showing he can catch the ball on that deep route.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what I would really like to see. So that's why I think, although he's done well when they've got the ball to him.
So
I think it's got to be Jones.
How many running backs are we going to hand helmets to?
Well, that's the thing. They've been going with 4.
Okay, honestly, I think Edmonds is the one that's out.
I'm not sure that it's I would say Edmonds, but he's the guy that's been lining up at fullback.
I know it's okay, but we're only giving out four helmets, so it's either him. In my opinion, it's either him or Jalen Samuels.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's like I've said in this article that you all can read tomorrow on BehindTheSteelCurtain.com, is don't want to get the cart before the horse, and that's exactly what Coach Tomlin was saying. Is that we got to actually get James Conner back first. We've got to make sure that Jalen Samuels' groin is fine as well, because he's another guy that's dinged up a little bit.
Right. So maybe this all irons itself out without a whole lot of controversy.
Exactly. So it's interesting. And yes, as Dennis brought up, and now Dennis, I got to address something with you anyway, but he said, I just happened to look and see that he was here because I got to answer a question for him, is that Edmonds is also on special teams. Yes, he does a lot of special teams. So does Benny Snell. They still have him out there doing the special teams, which is good stuff. But I also want to say, Dennis, I got your email, and you have no idea the extent of that question that you asked me, that I am still working on it, and I'm hoping to use it Thursday night on the Steelers preview as part of the Stat Geek there. So for those of you who want to know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to tune in Thursday night to see what Dennis asked me about that took me forever to research in order to talk about it with Jeff on Thursday. So I think, did I see we had another super chat here somewhere?
Yeah, somebody.
There we go.
This one.
There we go. There we go. Fan of the show, Duck Hodges, wants to see the Ducks. So, hey, it's very interesting because I actually already heard from Superfan Frenzy with Flip. I talked to him via email briefly after the game, and he hasn't been able to break down the film yet, but I don't think he was very happy with Hodges' performance. I thought there was actually more good than you've seen with Rudolph for sure, but he can grow.
Yeah, he could. But let me tell you where folks are missing that he actually made up a little bit in this game to what I think something I think everybody's missing. Okay. He was our third leading rusher. He had 5 rushes, 34 yards, 6.8 per attempt with a long of 22. He scrambled effectively.
Yes. He didn't just sit in the pocket, and he stepped up in the pocket, and this was the big improvement that I saw from the week before. How about on that final drive, actually scrambling to his left, and connecting with Deontay Johnson for the first down. It was there at the end. That was fantastic because he had always had a tendency to go right, came to the left, kind of threw back across his body, but he said afterwards, after the game, that he was so wide open he made the throw anyway, even though we knew he shouldn't have been throwing that way, which is funny. Not to pile on, but it just got me thinking again when he says, I know that I shouldn't do this. And I'm like, I'm so tired of hearing a young quarterback being so focused on what they're not supposed to be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. That's the one problem that I have with the current setup with how they're dealing with their quarterbacks. But it might be right.
No. Look, what he's saying is yes. Come on, you see it every week. You hear commentators talking. They know better than to throw back across their body to the opposite side of the field. And he knew he shouldn't do that. But at the same time, he's like, I know that's something you don't do. But my gosh, when you see it where it's there, I mean, Duck could have thrown a duck.
Yeah. It's probably going to get there.
He's probably still going to get there and be okay.
Because of how open he was.
Yes.
And that's a very different scenario from the week before, where a lot of people was upset that when he rolled out on the play that he should have just taken the sack that he threw away, how James Washington was wide open on the opposite side of the field. But when you're rolling one way to throw it that far, the whole way across the field, that gives a chance for guys to get back there and make plays on it as well. I think it was a much better decision to make the throw he made this week than it would have been to make that throw. But then again, I'm an offensive lineman and not a quarterback. So what do I know? Anything else from this past game?
Hold on. Let me peek at some stuff I had down if there was anything interesting. You know what was nice? 4 for 20. And actually,
that's what I was going to say. That was the penalties and penalty yards.
Yep. And actually, Dennis had mentioned earlier, I think about hey, no false starts. It was nice to see that penalty number come down.
Well, all right. So I'll tease a little bit. Dennis's question that he sent to me has to do with penalties.
Oh.
It does. So I'm throwing it out here now for anyone in the live chat. If you want to throw out your numbers from this past week before we move on to next week, just kind of see if there's anything specific that stood out to you. I want to talk about the sacks because I saw a lot of this on Twitter and I've been answering people's questions. I haven't checked it since this morning, but there's a discrepancy because there are 4 players who are credited with a sack. And yet the team has 5 sacks on the game. And a lot of people were curious about which sack it was. And I know exactly which one it was because I went back and looked at the breakdown of each one. It was the sack on the Cardinals' last possession. Was it Cam Hayward that I think got the sack on first down? I do believe. And on second down, when Murray was scrambling, he fumbled the ball and they jumped on it. So it went down as a sack. But they didn't credit it to any player. Now, they still might. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that today or tomorrow. I think Hargrave might have been the closest player to it, that he might have got the credit. But what's crazy is they could have had more sacks if the NFL would have deemed that Murray was throwing the ball. I mean, that one third down play where Edmonds stopped him for a loss, where he was rolling out to the side, they deemed that as a run. That did not go down as a sack. So there's some things like that. All right, I've got to talk to you and stop looking for numbers here. Yeah, I got to go back and say where I said that.
Because they started flying after you.
Oh yeah, I can't even find my. Holy cow! How far back do I have to go?
9:38 p.m.
Hey, 9:38. Well, there I saw where Flip joined in. So about some stuff. I made sure I finally figured out. I had to confess to him that I haven't been able to do his film breakdown because I couldn't get it to work. I found a back way into it to where I was able to watch that this past week. Hey, I really enjoyed that.
You're looking for numbers. Go up to 9:39 p.m. Logan. We got to mention this. We haven't mentioned it yet. We have to mention it. 9:39 p.m.
9:38 is when he said because he can throw downfield. 9:39. Boy, I went back too far.
Yep.
So here we go. Yep. I saw that one. I'd skipped over that.
Talk about it. Yeah, we got to talk about this.
That was my first number on my analyzing the numbers, and that was the 85-yard punt return. First kick return for a touchdown of any kind since week 17 of 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster against the Cleveland Browns. First punt return since 2015, which was Mr. Third and Fifth.
Yep.
First punt return by a Steelers rookie for a touchdown since 2005, Santonio Holmes.
Yep.
So that was just some good, nice, fun numbers.
Yep.
So, let's see. Here we go. Logan has another one because I was going to say this other number. He had 16 for 19. I don't care about 16 for 19. I brought this up on the burning question on Saturday, and that is how many incompletions are you satisfied with? I was satisfied with I'm like, give me 7 or 8 on like 25 attempts, 22 to 29 attempts. It's okay. It was only 19 attempts, 3 incompletions.
And what I got digging through the stats a little bit was I think one of those was just a straight up throwaway.
One was definitely a throwaway
because it wasn't targeted at anybody.
Yeah, and once again, when I have to stream the game online, I don't have access to watch it over again, which really stinks. But I know there was a couple incompletions that ended up being penalties, so that's what's messing up in my head. His last pass was incomplete. That was on the second down play where they were trying to get a safe completion to keep the clock running.
Yeah,
but get the ball wider.
Yeah,
to get some yards.
That was to Deontay Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was one of the 3 incompletions. But really,
and you want to get into that a little more interesting. So technically, he went 6. So at Johnson, he went 6 completions, 8 targets. Okay. Every other targeted pass that Duck had was complete.
Yeah.
That's efficient.
Yeah, that's efficient. Now that's the thing. Was he making the right passes? Everything else, no. But I'm like, if you're making completions, that's half the battle.
Yep.
First thing you got to do is complete. But I'm not even saying it's the first half of the battle. Okay, I wanted to bring this one up. The 2 touchdowns for Deontay Johnson that Donald mentioned. The reason that I say it's half the battle is you've got to figure out who you're throwing it to and then complete it. I can't say because I didn't break it down. I'll probably hear more from Flip about this. Was he throwing it to the best option? So you've got to kind of give him credit that even if it wasn't his best option, he was getting the completions. I mean, I tell you what, man, those Deion Kane just comes up with a great one great catch each game, and I'll take it. I'll continue to take it. So Logan says 0 interceptions. That was very nice.
Wish we could have said 0 fumbles too.
Yeah, technically it was 2 because that was interesting. Out of the 5 interceptions, sorry, the 5 turnovers in the game, 3 of which happened on 4th down. That if they wouldn't have been a turnover, the other team would have taken over anyway.
Right.
TJ Watt's in the end zone, but that gave them better field position, so that was good because he was smart and just downed it.
Right.
I know some people are like, "Oh, Murray could have walked in." I don't know if he could have walked into the end zone, but he definitely could have got the first down if he chose to run. I can't say for sure without having to check it again if he would have got to the touchdown zone. So, and then also the Barry fumble. I don't even want to talk about that. Do you want to talk about that play, or just?
You know what? Here's the only thing I want to talk about that play. Okay, right after the game, I popped on to DVE and was listening to the post game show with Stan and Charlie Batch. Okay, and they cut to Tomlin's press conference, and of course you knew someone was going to ask about what happened there. Did because it looked weird? Did Barry mess that up? Whatever. And Tomlin says, "Hey, look, the call was my call. I made the call. That's on me." Oh my gosh, you should have seen everybody crucify Tomlin. Look, Tomlin took the heat off of Barry. Okay. Barry came out and said, "Hey, look, they called off. I didn't get the call. And honestly, when he tells you that, that's exactly when you watch that play. It's exactly
that's what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The guys started down the field, let the guys that they knew weren't going to block the punt come through, and then those 2 guys are there to cream Barry. Yeah. Right. But should we have had the call on to begin with? We don't know how many times they potentially walk out there with that call onto the field and cancel it and punt the ball.
Yes.
They might do that a lot more than we think.
Yes, that's a good point.
So, you know what? It happened. It wasn't great. Thank goodness it didn't cost us the game.
A couple things I got to say about this. Okay. First, Tomlin didn't lie about it. He said, that was my call. I'm the one who takes responsibility, because he probably said, hey, we're going to go out. We're going to run the fake because they'd only been putting 6 guys in the box. He says, we're going to run the fake unless they stack the box. They stacked the box. They called it off. Barry didn't hear it. He was like, oh, crap. And someone did ask a question from Joe, wanted to know, would the fake punt go as a sack? The reason it did not go as a sack is because at no point did he ever appear to attempt to throw the ball.
Yeah, that was
he never held the ball in a way where he was going to throw it.
That was a run from the get-go.
It was a run from the get-go. So that's what gets you with now, because if Murray goes back and at least pretends like he's going to pass and then tucks it, that's a sack. Murray, Barry, any
of those plays that were like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was a potentially a season-changing play, because if the Cardinals get momentum and win that game, and that could have completely ruined the season for the Steelers. Yeah. But they didn't let it happen. They didn't let it do that. Yes, they got the touchdown. And it's so funny because I was texting with Lance Williams on the touchdown that Terrell Edmonds broke for, and it went over his head. I said, that looks like the little leaguer in the outfield where they hit you a fly ball and he runs in and then it goes over your head. Yeah, that's exactly what that looked like to me. Was that, because I thought he had it picked.
Okay, so while you're on those, let's go a play like that. Let's go to the other fake punt for a minute. The one that they were successful on.
Yeah,
where Cam Kelly tripped over a blade of grass.
Yes. Yeah, it just
Like
one of those. Yeah.
like he's running, and I'm like, dude, he's got this. We've stopped him. And next thing you know, he's trying to make the tackle while he's flailing on the ground.
Yep. I'm trying to catch up with a couple of these.
Okay, go to it.
Yeah, we need some tight ends. We don't know if we got Vance McDonald this week. Ryan says that he wants me. He said I talked about improved opening drive, and it happened. So we will talk about something here very soon about the topic of the show. I'm just looking for any numbers that jump out at me. I'll be honest with you. I think at this point there's a lot of discussion. Before we get into questions or anything like that, let's go ahead and lay out this week's game, and then we can turn it over to the live chat.
Okay, let's do it.
So, title of the show is this: is it the Steelers? Now I can't even remember what it is. Something about having to start early, And what that is you're like, oh, great, we're going to talk about opening drive again. You know what? We're not. Are the Steelers still bad on opening drives? Yes, they are. But there's also something else that Lance Williams tipped me off to this. Now, the total wasn't as bad as he thought it was, but where they rank is.
Yeah.
And that is the Steelers and the yards that they gain on first down. The yards that they gain on first down. And that is the Steelers are, let me read this out. I had something else from this I wanted to write down and I didn't get a chance to. But the Steelers, well, let's look at last year. Let's just to compare first. Last year, the Steelers were 14th in the league on yards gained on first down. Now, I took out kneel downs. I took out if it was like a field goal, like at the end of the half or anything like that. These are just regular offensive plays. The Steelers were 14th in the NFL. They averaged 6.1 yards on first down. And just so you know, the league leader was 6.9, so they were 0.8 yards behind the league leader. They on first down, they got another first down 24.1% of the time, almost a quarter of the time on first down. They got more. They got enough yards
than 10 yards.
Get another yard. They're assuming they had 10 to go.
Right.
Because it could have been a defensive penalty or anything like that.
I got you.
That was ninth in the league. They were ninth in the league in that. And the breakdown on first down went of 288 pass plays and 209 run plays. So they were 57.9% pass and 42.1% rush. 58 to 42%. That's I'll take that. That's not bad at all.
Actually, that's pretty balanced in today's NFL.
Yes. Now, how do you think that differs for this year?
If I were to go out on, I haven't looked at these yet. You told me that this stuff that I haven't looked at these yet. I'm going to guess. We're under 5.
That is correct. Okay. We are under 5. We are at 4.8 yards.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound terrible because generally I'm like, I'll take 4 yards on first down. I'll take 4 yards on first down. The problem is, what about all those times you get 12 yards on first down?
Right.
You're running a 2-minute offense.
That's right. We're talking average.
I wanted to get a specific number.
Oh, you didn't want to look at median this time around?
No, I didn't want to look at median. Okay. I wanted to get a specific number of how many plays the Steelers had for 0 yards. Obviously, every incompletion is 0 yards or negative yards. It's a decent chunk, but I didn't get an exact number. Hopefully, maybe I'll even get that for Thursday night because it's not an easy way where they just give you a total. I have to go in and count all, 330 plays and see what the distance was. So I wanted to do that, but I didn't get to. In 2019, 4.8 yards has them ranked 31st in the NFL.
That's bad.
They are next to last. The only team.
Who's last?
Who do you think? That's what I was getting ready to ask.
Wow. Last.
Hint: the Steelers played them. Good guess.
Okay,
that's not it.
Miami.
It's Miami. Okay. Miami is at 4.5 yards on first down.
I figured it was one of the two.
Yeah. So That's interesting. Another interesting thing is the Steelers are 31st in first down conversions on first down. They went from 24.1 last year to 16.1 this year. That's 31st. The only team worse than them is only 0.1% behind them at 16%, and it is not the Dolphins, and it's not the Bengals. So who's the other? In close proximity.
I don't know. Close proximity to you?
Yeah.
The Redskins.
So it's the Redskins. Okay. Yeah, the Steelers are barely ahead of them. Now this year,
if you look at it, you know what part of that is?
That we're okay. Well, now here it is. Here's
part of that is both. If you think about the Redskins and you think about the Steelers, chances are both of them with their rookie quarterbacks are not chucking the ball a lot on first down. We're running the ball.
Exactly. That's what I was just about ready to say.
Yep.
Where last year it was basically 58% pass to 42% run. This year it's 47% pass and 53% run. Yeah. So they are running more on first down than they are passing. And can you rip off a run and get a first down? Absolutely. Sure. But you are more likely to gain 10 yards on a play by throwing it than you are running it. So if you're going to run it more, that means you are interested in moving, staying ahead of the chains, which is another article that you all should be seeing here in the next day or so, next day or two, by one Cliff Harris is still a punk, has an article coming out about the Steelers and staying ahead of the chains, because Buffalo is what's that?
Cliff Harris is still a punk?
He's still a punk, yep.
Is he ever not going to be a punk?
That's the question. Okay. So, and if you haven't read his stuff, his breakdown is fantastic. But Buffalo is one of the best teams in the NFL at forcing negative plays on first down. And the Steelers are one of the worst teams of not gaining much on first down. So first down is going to be important.
Yep.
It's going to be very important that the Steelers need to leave themselves in manageable situations. So
my question is then, how do we get them off balance on first down? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for us if we are too predictable on first down. But at the same time, you can't totally flip the script on first down either.
Yeah.
Fichtner's going to have to be a little creative.
Yes. Yes. I mean, like we say, when we're critical of when he's not creative, he needs to step up and be creative.
Yeah.
So just change up some stuff. At the same time, you don't want to go so creative that you're going to run a play that has the potential to lose you 6 yards.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You don't have to run the flea flicker on the opening play. You don't have to run the end around on the opening play. Run the misdirection. Run a quick slant. Everyone was so tired with Haley how much we saw the bubble screens.
Right.
Now you don't always see the bubble screen. I mean, honestly, I'd like
to see some more trap plays on first down.
I would like to see the infamous use your formation wisely, run off the defenders, and try to hit your running back on just a little flare out. Not a screen. Just have him stay in to protect and see if he can just slide out for a little dump off. That's a good pass for your quarterback, and that generally it's like a run play, but he's clear space, and that can generally get you 5 yards or so.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. There's something in the chat I want you to go back and get because you haven't talked much about it yet.
I haven't even been looking.
No, you haven't brought this up yet, and we need to. And somebody brought it up in there. Our friend Dennis back at 9:54 p.m.
Okay.
And this is when you got to put that one up there. Okay. Dennis is saying, hey, I'll tell you what it says. It says whoever hasn't hit the like button has to stand in the corner. That's right. Get out.
Stand in the corner. Yes, I mentioned the super chat earlier, and that's the one thing that I should have discussed is that if you don't want to give your hard-earned cash to get your question, that's fine. But if you want to help us out without having to do that, smash that like button. Give us the stars on the podcasts. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All that stuff is really, really helpful. So, and a lot of people are saying that's right, Dennis. So One other thing I do want to say is you're like, well, so the Steelers, is it really that bad? Their average on first down. The Steelers only have one game. Well, I got to say an asterisk on this one. I said they only have one game that they they've reached that total. But unfortunately, the two games against Cincinnati and Cleveland, the way I had to look stuff up, it combined them both into one game. Right. So maybe I should say there's only one opponent so far in 2019 that the Steelers have averaged more on first down, or that they averaged in the game more on first down than they did for the season last year. And that was in week 2 against Seattle. They had 6.9. Everything else was 6 or below, with some of those being 2. New England was in the 2s. The Rams was in the 2s on first down.
Yeah, no. So I was throwing a fit when we were there at that game.
Yeah, we're like, can we just get some yards on first down? And late in the game they started to get some, but early in the game it seemed like they were getting nothing.
Right.
Nothing. So, yes. All right. Well, what anything specific number wise you would like to see this week?
Yeah, I got a couple things I like to talk about. First of all, we always talk about what we need for offensive numbers. There's one I'd really like to see us defensively do here. Okay. The Bills have one of the top rushing attacks in the league.
Yes.
If we can hold the Bills under 100 yards as a team, that would be phenomenal.
Yes.
Because they're averaging, I believe, somewhere around 130.
Yeah.
Let's hold them under 100.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And I would say, oh man, if the Steelers can do that, then I'm not ready to say that means they could win the game, because this is the Steelers' lowest over under that they've had out of Vegas so far this season, because this is basically two teams that are known for their defense.
Oh, this could be else. This could be 13-10, 12-7. This could be low scoring.
Here's what's going to happen. You ready? Because I remember
it's going to be I know.
It's going to be 28-37 or something like that. Because last year when they wore the color rush against the Patriots, I was like, oh man, if the Steelers can get to 30 points, I think they can win. They won the game 17-10. That's not what I expected out of that game.
Was it when you and I went to the Titans game that one time that we were expecting a low scoring game? They won. And both teams. Overall that was 60 something points in that game combined.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. When do the Steelers give up the most points? Well, first of all, Lance Williams gets so frustrated with this because when the Steelers score, especially a touchdown, they have a tendency to turn around and give up a long drive on defense, whether it be just time-consuming, give up another touchdown, or score at some point. But I think, like, when did the Steelers defense seem like they gave up the most? In games that they're winning by a good bit, like against the Chargers, when they gave up, 17 points in the fourth quarter or something like that. But that still didn't even have the game really in range. So if the other team's going to score, it's probably going to be because the Steelers are winning a bit. Okay. Max throws $4 into the tip jar and says, love they chose to wear the color rush.
Me too.
Interesting thing about that, one Jefferson Hartman, we keep calling him Jefferson. I'm pretty sure that's not his real name.
It's just fun to do, right?
Exactly. Put out on Twitter through the Behind the Steel Curtain Twitter account last night, said he sent me a text. He's like, we got to do color rush. We got to do color rush. We got to push for this. Because I'm putting it out on Twitter. Say, hey, retweet this if you want to see the color rush. We got crazy retweets of that and everything. So then when they announced it today, we decided we double teamed getting an article out quick where he was writing and I was like compiling tweets and getting pictures and make sure we had all the right tags and everything else. And he's like, make sure you throw in my tweet from last night. So I did. We had to throw it in there that he was pushing for that, and it was great to see that. So I want to see. I got to think about what number I want to see. I want to see. What do I want to see? I want to see one. I want to see one victory.
One win.
That's really all that really matters. It can become so ugly.
That's why I'm going with the Santa hat. That's why I want my Christmas present this weekend. The Steelers Christmas present for me. Get the win this weekend. Put us into the 5 spot for the wild card, and keep it rolling from there.
Exactly, because this was something that Jeff asked me to make sure I'm covering playoff scenarios. And I'm just going on it week by week. That it's basically this week. It's the there's only two games you're allowed to pay attention to: the Steeler game and the Tennessee Houston game.
Yep.
Because who the Steelers are fighting for. If you're looking at worst case scenario versus best case scenario, the only way the Steelers can win the North is they have to win all three, and the Ravens have to lose all three. And the Ravens play the Jets on Thursday.
Right.
So it's just going to be done. So that's just how it is. I didn't expect the Ravens to go undefeated through this difficult stretch. I thought if they went 4-2 through 6 games, with one of them being the Bengals, the other ones were really tough teams, that would be a really good record for them. And they went and they won them all. So that right now, that's not the issue. It's getting that wild card. If the Steelers win this game, they're the 5. They will currently be the 5 because they will have an identical record to Buffalo, and they will have the head-to-head tiebreaker. If they come up short against the Bills, who they are fighting with for that last spot, you've got a group of teams that are 2 games behind. That's tough. I mean, if you're going to give up, if you're going to fall to teams that are 2 games behind, then you don't deserve to go to the playoffs. If they're 2 back with 3 left and you can't close the deal against them, then you're not a playoff team, most likely.
Correct.
So it comes down to the Texans and the Titans, who are tied, and it's going to be who doesn't win the division.
Right.
And they play each other twice.
Right. So you go into that and you hope that one of those 2 teams beats the other one twice.
Exactly. That's the best case scenario. Well, because the worst case scenario is they play each other twice, and then they got an NFC South opponent. The Texans have the Bucks, and the Titans have the Saints. So, yeah, I would not be shocked to see the Titans win this week and then turn around and lose the next week to the Saints. That wouldn't surprise me. But bottom line is, you really care about who's losing those games. The worst case scenario for the Steelers is both teams go 2-1.
Right.
That's the best that they can do. That's the best that they both can do in the Steelers' eyes. Meaning what's bad for the Steelers.
Both teams combined can do.
Combined
because if one of them goes 3-0, the other one goes 1-2.
1-2 at best.
Right. Yes.
Which means all this, and right now the Steelers have better tiebreakers over the Titans than they do Houston. Houston has one more win in the conference, in the conference, almost said division, than what Tennessee does. So that's one thing to remember. If they have the same conference record, then it goes to common opponents. And right now that's still up in the air because a common opponent with the Texans, the Steelers would be the Ravens. A common opponent with the Titans wouldn't be the Ravens, it would be the Bills, because of how everything plays out. And there's just a lot to go into that. With 3 weeks left, there's still way too much. Then beyond that, then you're talking about strength of victory. And there's too many factors involved with that when you're talking about 48 games still remaining to be played. So that's that.
Honestly, the best case scenario for us, Texans beat the Titans twice.
Mm-hmm.
Titans probably, say the Titans also play the Saints. They lose to the Saints. They go 0-3. Texans win their division. Who are we fighting against then? Because it's definitely then not Tennessee.
Yeah, well, it would be if any of those teams that are 2 games back win all 3.
Right.
That would be it.
Right.
That's the only thing you got to worry about. So that's why I say if the Steelers win one of the last 3, you're talking about trying to get a tiebreaker. If you win 2 of the last 3, you're talking about probably locking it in to get in. And so that's why this one's such a big one. This is such a big one. So that's the thing. 1 win this week. That's what happens. Last time the Buffalo Bills won in Pittsburgh was the first.
You're gonna make me nervous now.
What was the first playoff game under Bill Cowher?
Okay.
And the thing is, they don't play close games. They don't play close games in Pittsburgh. The closest game between the Bills and the Steelers in Pittsburgh, I can't say Heinz Field because it goes back before that, in Pittsburgh is 9 points. The question is
Was
either
was that back when OJ was still running for the Bills?
No, it was 1975.
Yeah, that would have been
before I was born, so I don't know who was playing. I don't remember.
No, it was funny. I think I just saw something on that game on TV not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, if we're going to have a game that's not close, I just want us to be on the correct side of that.
Exactly. Well, it's funny because there hasn't one that isn't within 9 points. Some people are like, do you only need to get to 9 points to win? So I'm going to go ahead because I want to see what you all have to say in the live chat. We got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to turn there. If you've got a question, if you've got a number, I'll do my very best to keep up. Deal with it. Come on. I need your prediction. Yeah. He's got it right. He's got it dead on 2 weeks in a row. He picked the score 2 weeks in a row, and the week before that, I picked the score right. So between the two of us, we got a 3-game streak.
The two of you got to get in there because if one of the two of you gets it right, and you call this correctly, the two of you, then I'll be happy.
As long as we're both picking the Steelers, I don't care. I don't care which one would be right. Yeah. So here we go. It just skipped on me.
See, look at that. Dylan is saying, ha, ha, ha. He's laughing. Come on, where's the prediction?
You can give a prediction. I have to give mine on Thursday.
All right.
I'm holding it. So if you want to do a prediction.
I'm saying we're going to be pretty low scoring. I'm going to go something like, oh, man.
If you take mine. Here, while you're thinking about it, North Top, 117.5 passer rating for Hodges.
That was last game. That was this past game.
That was the last game. Yep.
All right, hold on. I'm really trying to think about this.
Nap 1963 says this game is huge, and since I'm huge and Brian's huge, we need to be there. That's not what he said. That's just the way I read it. So yeah, and Remedy, this was exactly what we were saying. Right. They play each other, Houston and the Titans, so they can't win out. The best they can both do, or sorry, not the best they can do. The worst. One of the Steelers is one of them.
But if one of them wins out, the other one goes 1-2.
Or 0-3. Yep.
Correct.
And here's the other thing that you got to remember. They could both finish 1-3. They could split and lose their other game.
Split and lose their other game. Correct.
Or someone could be 2-3 and the others or 2-1.
You're wanting a score prediction.
Yeah. You don't have to do it.
You know what? One of the things I had jotted down here that you wanted for numbers this game, I would love to see the Steelers score 20. If they score 20, I'm pretty sure they win. Yeah. So I'm going to go Steelers 20, Bills 16.
Okay, man, this keeps skipping. 20-16. That's a good one. I had some good stuff, and then it skipped. So Robert says 30-17.
That's because he's saying a 30 because they score a lot in the color rush jerseys.
Yes. Mango Masher, I saw your question. We don't have time to get into Spygate 2. Maybe when more of that becomes clear, or maybe on another show. But I'd like to stay focused on the other stuff. But keep that in mind. Maybe we'll hit that up. Maybe Lance them. Maybe tomorrow night or on Thursday. So someone says, "Hey, depends on the weather. What's the weather looking like for Sunday?"
Actually, it's hilarious. You were sitting there doing that, and I'm trying to pull it up on my phone because it keeps changing here and there. It's going to be chilly. Let me say that. I'm already trying to figure out what all I'm going to wear so that, I don't freeze. Let's see.
While you do that, Michael O'Malley, I love this. 100 yards on the ground, more takeaways than giveaways. So in other words, you want to be positive in that plus minus.
Yep. Michael, good one, because I also felt we need to rush the ball for over 100 yards.
Yep. We got a score of 28-13 from Jesse. Kigme 24-14. Wes said, didn't know if we saw this earlier, but the 85-yard punt return is the longest punt return in Steeler history. I did not see that, so I can't confirm that, but I'm going to take Wes's word for that he knows what he's talking about, because Wes usually has good stuff for us. Okay?
That's all right. Kyle will yell, oh, no, he might have gone to bed already. He disappeared on me.
Steeler Superfan Dad, or Superfan Dad. Yeah, Steeler Fan number 74. I'm Steeler Superfan Dad, but it's STLR, because I didn't have enough letters to spell out the word Steeler. If you go to any of my articles on Behind the Steel Curtain, you click on that article right underneath the title and the little thing that goes with the title. It'll say the author. It'll have my email. It'll have my Twitter, or you can click on my profile. It's all there. But STLR Superfan Dad at gmail.com is my email, or that's just what it is for Twitter.
Hey, weather forecast.
Yeah.
For Sunday, high of 38 in Pittsburgh. Morning snow showers. West winds 10 to 15. Sunday night going into the evening, the low is to get down to 26. So we're going to hover right probably around the freezing point.
Okay.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, I watched a movie last night. It made me say something. It made me think of something. Goodness. I was going to say, okay, so there might be snow in Pittsburgh, but you know where there's not going to be snow this Christmas time? Sorry. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? I'm sorry. If you haven't seen Daddy's Home to hear John Cena sing that song, it's fantastic. So we've got 13-10 Steelers from Double H. We got Goo Steelers 27-14. So Wes said that there was a 90-yard punt return, but it did not result in a touchdown in 1964. Hey, I'm going to trust you that you're doing the research there. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate that. We love it when people come with their numbers. Okay, remedy this 30-20. Okay. He said completions. I think he means receptions. Cody says Zach Manor, 0 receptions. That will change Sunday. He was wide open on that one where he flared out. He was wide, but he would have had to throw it across the field.
I know.
But yeah, he was wide open.
The ball.
Give him the ball.
Nothing better than a fat guy touchdown and a fat guy touchdown dance.
You know what? There was a question asked of Coach Tomlin today at the press conference, and the question was, is Zach Banner athletic enough to act as fullback on the goal line? His answer, no.
That was his answer. You know what? That's just because they don't want to play him there.
And then Banner on Twitter challenged Coach Tomlin to a race.
Nice. Very nice.
I like that. It's funny. I don't like it when they use that formation too much and telegraph what they're doing, but you gotta love it when you gotta love the guys. I mean, he's just got the right attitude. I mean, if you don't know his story, he started to not like the game and just wanted to be done with it, and he ended up in Pittsburgh and in the right situation and fell in love with football again. And he's just out there having fun. Yep. I mean, he's just a big fun guy. And if you got fun guys, he's a big mushroom. Sorry. Oh man, I'm going nerdy jokes tonight on.
You're a dork. That's all I have to say.
Between Band-Aid and mushrooms and everything else. But if you did not see when the one thing earlier this year, I don't know if it was during the fashion thing when he did the flash dance scene. It was hilarious. So I think it was Flashdance or Dirty Dancing, one of those things. I don't know those movies. My wife would have to tell you. So Darren says, how about 17 points and we can win? So he's going 17-16. That might be the number. That could be the number. Yep. I'm really far behind because it just skipped and I can't go back and find where I even brought that one up. So I'm really sorry, everyone. I'm not going to get to all your comments.
Let me read off a couple. Steeler fan 74 said 15-9 Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to see if we had any more predictions there real quick. Erica J said 17-10 Steelers.
There we go.
Yeti 20 for the Steelers, Bills 17. Hanani, I can't even say that one. 16-10 Steelers.
I went back too far. That's where I am. I'm catching up. Yeah, so good stuff. As always, you all come through in the live chat so much bigger than what it needs to be. I just nerd out.
Somebody said that Mark Tobin said that Zach Banner's going to be Refrigerator Perry 2.0.
Yep. There we go. Do we get some of these? These might have been some of the ones you do. Okay. Duck Hodges is calling his own stats. 2 touchdowns, 1 defensive TD. 2 Boss field goals, 27-10, bring in the Duck. So I tell you what.
Man, Duck breaking that down for us right there.
Yeah.
It's a score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. some good stuff. Ron Reed says he'll be at the game, 21-16. So, like I said, you'll have to follow. You'll have to listen to the show on Thursday, see what's going on.
It just skipped over and I lost who said it. Where was it? Up there, somebody gave a number for the game. Who said it? Darn, I can't even give credit. Somebody said a number they had for the game was 0 fake punts by Jordan Berry.
Hey, I like it.
There was Cody Marshall. Cody Marshall said it. Berry, 0 fake punt.
Yep. So here we go. And now you guys are going to have to wait. Deal with it. Says he's going to sleep on it. And
tomorrow. So help me. So help me.
He's giving it on this show every time.
I know. If they lose, I'm blaming him.
Yep. It's because he didn't give the score on a Tuesday. So it's some good stuff. But hey, thank you all for tuning in tonight. It's just kind of been a good, fun time. We're excited. I don't know if anyone even noticed. But I do have the Christmas tree lit up behind me tonight. The little one. Yes, I did. I actually remembered my USB hub, and yes, I have more than one USB port on my laptop. The people said I needed a fund for that, but I'm like, no, I just use them for other things. So, one last score, 17-2. I don't like the 2. I don't want to give up the safety. Let's not do that. Let's not put our offense in that situation. So, thank you all once again for tuning in. You got to remember, go crush that like button. Go hit those 5-star ratings, and if you haven't done it, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you can get the notifications. You've got to sign up for the notifications as well if you want them for when we are going live. But make sure that you are checking BehindTheSteelCurtain.com for all your Steelers information. We've got all kinds of great stuff coming your way. We got some good breakdown of the last game. Lots of stuff coming up.
You got another super chat.
Super chat here. Yep. Duck gets back to us again. He's like getting the W, and he'll waddle. So that's $1.99 in the tip jar. Also, we're here every day. We're here every day with a podcast. Hopefully you don't have to deal with it like last Friday with Lance Williams going a podcast at like 11:40 Eastern. It was something crazy. I was getting ready to go to bed, and then Lance is going live. But we will have the Standard is the Standard. The flagship podcast will be tomorrow night with Jeff and Lance. Thursday will be myself and Jeff. I don't know that Brian's going to be with us on Thursday. He's running away in shame about not going to the game. But
Brian's really starting to, I'm starting to lose my confidence in Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, if you listen to this at any point in time, you need to know that.
No, Brian also knows because I was wishy-washy too. So Brian's going to call me out on that. And I understand. I'm just like, I just don't know. Come
on, the two of you, get it together. Yeah. Come to the game.
Yep. So then where am I? Where did I say we were? We're on the preview Thursday. Then we've got Lance's, I said it on Friday. We've got a burning question Saturday. I don't know if it's Jeff or Lance. It's one of those guys coming up. Then Sunday, you're going to have a super late post-game show. I know Jeff loves doing those. And then we're right back at it with the Hangover Monday, and we'll be back again next Tuesday before we get into that crazy holiday schedule the following Tuesday when it just so happens to be that Stat Geek is scheduled for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So that might be a more interesting show. That might be an afternoon show, and it might have to be a solo show. But we just have to.
No, I can do afternoon on Christmas Eve. I can't do night though.
Yeah, we got kids and traditions and all kinds of great stuff going on. But we'll make sure we let you all know about when that's going to happen.
Yep.
Because these shows aren't for us; they're for you. So thanks for everyone for all the great for the great discussion and content in the live chat. And any last things you want to say before we go, bro?
No, just get to Lance's quote.
All right, so there you go. To tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe. We'll see you all next time.